in here? I hope it's light enough in here. Oh, there we go, a little bit. Wasn't sure if it was because it's kind of a dark and gloomy day out there. But today I want to talk about what happens when your plans fail and how I have learned to just kind of roll with it. When I first moved into my van, almost 6 years ago now, can you believe that? Almost 6 years. Wow. Yeah. I had certain things. I came from a life of appointments. I had to be here at a certain time. I had to be there at a certain time. And I always learned growing up that if I was 10 minutes early, that meant I was late. So appointments were very important to me. When I moved into my van, however, things began to change. I made it a firm rule at the beginning of van life that I needed to have a place to stay by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Anything later than that, and that was going to cause me too much stress. So 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Excuse me. Well, that most times worked when I first started because I used Boondocker's Welcome and I made appointments. I'm used to appointments. I would make appointments to go and stay at places, people's houses basically was what it was, and in their field, in their driveway, whatever. But you had to make an appointment to go there. And so that worked out well for me. So I could go there by 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I was fine. Well, as time went on, I stopped using Boondocker's Welcome because they got bought by Harvest Toast and it was a whole bunch of stuff. And I found other places to go a little bit off the grid, and it took me a minute to get there. But I've learned that, for instance, things happen when you want to go off the grid. I have been to places that were other people were already there. It was full and there was no place for me to park. So I had to find some other place. And by now I had gotten over the 3 in the afternoon rule. So it might be 5 o'clock at night when I find out this. Or I might go someplace and it's flooded. I've done that before. It's underwater. So I'm not going to stay there. I have been to a few places that the road turned out to be too rough and I couldn't actually get there in my van. So I've had to learn how to roll with it and not be stressed out when these things happen. Just kind of go, okay, well, what do we do next? And it took me a long time to get to that place because of my appointment living. And I always had to be a certain place at a certain time. So now I didn't have to do that, but still things happened. I have been stuck in traffic on the interstate before, and I don't know if you've ever had that happen, but that can be very stressful. But I learned that if I was stuck in traffic, then that gave me, parking lot traffic is what I'm talking about. There was an accident way up there, and so you got 3 or 4 miles of 5, 10 miles of just parking lot traffic. Well, I have a bathroom, so if I had to go to the bathroom, I could go to the bathroom. I could make coffee. I could make a sandwich. I found things to do while I was stuck in traffic. And so I didn't sit up there in the seat all stressed out because I needed to go somewhere because I didn't really need to go anywhere. Just go with the flow. That one took me a minute to learn because road rage, right? Get out of the way, and there's always somebody cutting in front of you, and get in line, people. But I learned to just take advantage of the fact that I was in a parking lot on the highway with people before me and behind me, and make a sandwich, have lunch, something. I have other things that have happened to me that I've had to learn how to be patient with and go with the flow, like it is what it is. And recently, something that happened to me, I was boondocking and it started raining and I wasn't paying attention and I was surrounded by water. I was stuck in the mud, and I could have freaked out totally, but instead I just kind of went with the flow. I'm stuck. I wonder how long it will take me for the rain to go away and dry up. It actually took 3 days. I was stuck there, but Matrix and I, we found things to do. We went for a hike, you know, just normal stuff, waiting for the water to dry up. So I got past that one. So I've learned to have that kind of thing not freak me out at all. I have gone to places that um, I got there and maybe it is later in the afternoon or maybe not, but usually it is. And when I got there, it was wide open. It was a great, looking space that I could stay at. And it just didn't feel right. Just didn't feel right. So I had to go find some other place. And sometimes it's a little harder to find places when it's the last minute like that. I've never been stuck and not be able to find a place to go. But nevertheless, that 3 o'clock rule just went away. You doing okay, baby? My matrix is see it? Isn't he the cutest little dog? He's gonna wake up and say hello. Uh, yeah. So learning how not to have appointments. It was once I got over the fact that I had to be at a certain place at a certain time, because that's a hard habit to break if you've done it your whole life. And to realize up here, you live in a van, you have no appointments, you have your entire house with you, you have your office, you have, anything that you would normally have in a house, you have the whole thing with you all the time. And so if you needed to do something, then everything was right here. So getting over having the actual appointments was so freeing for me. I didn't have that stress. I mean, I know what you mean. You I know what you mean. You know what I mean. And so you've had that stress in your life where you were late for something or you had to be somewhere and you're rushing and you're getting stressed out. Well, I don't have that anymore. It's gone. I have a comment in here. Oh, thank you so much for this thumbs up. Sorry. Here's another thing. I haven't been able to wear glasses for 2 months because my glasses, they just got so they just didn't work anymore. I couldn't see out of them and they were scratched and all of the stuff. And so instead of freaking out, I just go with the flow. I could see good distance and I got my little, readers from Dollar Tree, $1.50 tree, $1.50 tree nowadays. And I didn't know what to get because if you ever have those, you're in here and you can't really tell. So I got one of every, I got a 1.5, 1.75, 2, all of them. So I got a ton of these around right now. But I do have to get some. I'm actually on my way back to Texas right now, which is where I last lived. And so my family is there and I have, I'm going to the eye doctor, all of this stuff. But that would be something in my past life that the first day I realized that I wasn't able to see as well as I should, I would have been right there, right to the eye doctor. But I just kind of go with the flow now. And again, when I say it is just so freeing, like right at this moment, I'm on my way to Texas. And I got up this morning, we had breakfast and all of the things. And I don't have to be in Texas at any particular time. And right now, so that I could do this live, it may be loud here. I don't know if you can hear all this or not. Maybe loud, but I am at I guess they call it a picnic area beside the road. Although I guess there are a few picnic tables here, but there's no bathroom. It's not like an actual rest area. And it's all trailer trucks parked all around me with their engines running, their generators running. It's kind of noisy, so you may find it noisy. And I have my generator running too. But I have tried to stay out of the rain and I'm failing. It's raining. Weather is another thing that you have to watch out for all the time when you live in a van. And I have had to try to outride in the rain, which I'm doing right now, and I'm failing miserably. And if you look at the radar, it's like the whole area, rain, 24 hours. The heat, I've had to try to outrun the heat, which is sometimes a success and sometimes it isn't. But you just kind of go with what you got. Uh, if you make it past it, then you're good. If not, then you just go on with the flow. I have had so many things happen to me in the last nearly 6 years that in my past life, I would have totally freaked out. I would have been so stressed that I probably would have been, in a loony bin somewhere. But once these things start happening to you and you learn that it's out of your control, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it, then you learn to live with it. It's just like, in the parking lot. I got my bathroom with me. And of course, COVID was there just as soon as I moved into my van. And that was another thing that was so awesome, was that I had my bathroom with me all the time. So you don't have that stress. You could just stop beside the road anywhere. Have my dogs. I've only had him for a year and a half, but I've had dogs ever since I lived in my van. And, they have to go to the bathroom. You can't let them, you gotta find a place. You stop and you go. But the stress that I used to have is gone. Somebody asked me recently about that and what I'm doing for coping with stress, because they have a lot of I have bipolar disorder, and so therefore all of that stuff really gets you. And the answer to that question for me, and probably for anybody else that's watching this right now, is I got rid of 90% of my stress. The things that in my life that were causing me stress. And by doing that, then I got the freedom of being able to have things go wrong all the time and not caring, uh, just going with the flow. Whatever happened to be happening, just go with it. So I don't know